I'm Dan Murray, and we're going to be talking about accounting regulations for nonprofit organizations today. Naturally, nonprofits are an important staple in the American economy. They include charitable organizations, religious organizations, but also all kinds of other athletic and educational organizations, help communities all over America. One of the things we're going to talk about and why I feel renovation in nonprofits is necessary is because organizations often rely on donations from individuals, and for that reason, FASB subjects them to some more strict regulations than they do for for-profit organizations, which I don't think is fair. I don't think it allows them to keep their nonprofit running the way they want to. But in other circumstances, they are not subject to strict enough restrictions, and organizations like the NFL, we're going to talk about later, are able to get away with a nonprofit status and therefore pay no taxes. So to start, one of the big problems I've noticed is with the extra restrictions are the donor-imposed restrictions, and these actually come from donors to the charity or the nonprofit that say you can only spend your money on this, essentially. And so the problem that arises from this is that organizations oftentimes will have a lot of money that's donated specifically to help other people, but not necessarily to keep their organization running. And so that does become a problem. What we're going to move on to next is a situation where I don't think restrictions are severe enough, and that's because the NFL is treated as a nonprofit organization. Just to be clear, each individual professional team does pay income tax, but the umbrella organization that oversees the 32 teams does not. Naturally, financing for the NFL comes from each of the 32 teams. They're required to pay a certain dollar amount, and in return, the league provides structure, rules for the games, referees. But in the end, what the league is trying to do is make the NFL more profitable, and that's why there are rules. They're trying to make the game most entertaining for the audience as possible, trying to make it most fair. So, the NFL is essentially paid to help 32 teams bring in over $9 billion of revenue per season, but it doesn't pay an income tax just because it doesn't profit from the transaction. One article that I read gave the example of, well, if a marketing firm were paid to do the same thing for the NFL, but they happen not to profit from the transaction, you would still tax them on the money, well, initially that they received from the 32 teams. I think that tax breaks like this, cause American people to lose faith in the IRS and the government in general. The commissioner of the NFL is paid $10 million a year, and the company he works for isn't even subject to an income tax. At a time when our nation is incredibly in debt, it is worth evaluating whether or not certain nonprofit organizations should have to pay these income taxes. And in conclusion, there certainly is a lot of room to make nonprofits as successful as possible, both in tightening restrictions and cutting loose so that certain nonprofit organizations can operate without the constant restrictions from donors. And I believe that the renovations I talked about will allow for better nonprofit organizations to follow. Thank you.